Have you ever wondered if you're paying for real performance or just flashy gimmicks? Some firearms boast impressive features on paper, but in reality they do little more than drain your wallet and weigh you down. Today we're breaking down 6 guns that are notorious for their overhyped, overpriced add-ons. Ones that might look cool but don't always deliver where it matters. Stick around to see if your favorite firearm made the list and whether these so-called upgrades are truly worth your hard-earned cash. Let's dive in. Desert Eagle. The Desert Eagle has a reputation as a flashy centerpiece in many Hollywood action scenes, but its real-life practicality is often questioned. Chambered in .50 Action Express or sometimes .40 Magnum, its massive caliber is arguably its most striking feature. Weighing around 4.5 pounds when empty, it is heavier than some rifles, making it tiring to hold for extended periods. The standard magazine capacity for the .50 AE model is 7+1, which is hardly impressive considering its large size. It features a gas-operated action, which is unusual for a pistol and adds to its complexity and weight. The barrel length typically hovers around 6 inches, further contributing to its already enormous profile. Most models come with a steel frame, though some have exotic finishes like gold plating. While these cosmetic details may be eye-catching, they do not enhance reliability or handling. The trigger mechanism is single action, offering a crisp break but not much else to justify its high price. The bulky grip can be challenging for those without large hands, and while the gun's weight helps mitigate recoil to some extent, it is still substantial. Sights are typically fixed or adjustable iron sights, but once again, the real selling points tend to be the flashy materials and finishes. Despite having a manual safety, the Desert Eagle is far from being a practical carry gun, as its concealability is nearly non-existent. More often than not, it ends up as a range showpiece purchased for bragging rights. While it is not the worst choice for a high-powered sidearm, its exorbitant cost and impractical size stand out as major drawbacks. If you enjoy collecting conversation starters and can handle the weight and recoil, that's fine. However, if you're looking for a practical handgun, you might want to think twice before spending extra cash on all that glitz. Smith & Wesson Model 500. The Smith & Wesson Model 500 is often called the king of revolvers due to its massive 500 S&W Magnum chambering. This revolver frequently weighs over 4 pounds, especially in its longer-barreled variants. While a 5-shot cylinder might seem underwhelming, each round is nearly the size of a small rocket, which is precisely what many buyers are paying for: sheer power. Built on Smith & Wesson's hefty X-frame, the Model 500 still delivers formidable recoil despite its substantial weight. Barrel lengths range from around 4 inches to an impressive 8.38 inches. The longer barrel helps reduce muzzle flip somewhat, but it also makes this revolver an unwieldy beast to carry around. It operates in both double-action and single-action modes, allowing shooters to thumb back the hammer for a lighter trigger pull. However, the novelty of the 500 caliber often overshadows everything else. Where do people spend extra money? Many opt for custom porting, muzzle brakes, or fancy finishes that look great on Instagram, but do little to reduce the overall challenge of firing such a powerhouse. Some owners also invest in intricate engravings or high-end grips, which may be visually striking, but offer little improvement for everyday shooting. The Model 500's safety features include the standard transfer bar mechanism and the usual heavy double-action trigger pull found in revolvers. For sights, most models come with an adjustable rear sight paired with a colored front ramp or blade, sufficient for slow-aim shots, but rapid-fire shooting is hardly an option. Concealability is practically out of the question unless you have a trench coat and a strong back. While the Model 500 excels in certain niche applications like big game hunting, spending extra on aesthetic upgrades for an already specialized revolver is where the line between function and vanity starts to blur. Taurus Judge. The Taurus Judge is famously chambered to fire both .45 Colt and 410 shot shells, a combination that generates plenty of buzz but offers limited real-world utility. Weighing around 29 ounces in its polymer frame variant and even more in steel frame models, the Judge typically has a 5-round capacity. This double-action/single action revolver usually features a barrel length of 2 to 3 inches in its most common versions, which significantly impacts the effectiveness of .410 shot shells. The concept of a revolver that can fire shotgun shells for close quarters defense is intriguing. However, in practice, .410 shells fired from such a short barrel often result in poor spread patterns, while .45 Colt, though a respectable cartridge, doesn't quite justify the shotgun hype. The Judge comes with basic sights, typically a fixed rear notch and a front blade, along with the standard Taurus transfer bar safety. Ergonomically, it is manageable, though the grip can feel bulky in the hand. Additionally, recoil from .410 loads can be snappier than expected. Where do unnecessary features come into play? Many buyers opt for versions with specialized cylinder engravings or pay extra for flashy finishes. There's also the hype factor. The idea of owning a shotgun revolver often leads people to spend more on accessories like custom holsters or exotic grips. Concealability is another point of debate. While shorter models can be hidden under a jacket, the large cylinder required to accommodate .410 shells makes it bulkier than most dedicated carry revolvers. If you're paying for the novelty of a revolver that fires shot shells, you may find its real-world performance underwhelming. Kel-Tec PMR-30. The Kel-Tec PMR-30 stands out for its impressive 30-round magazine capacity and 22 WMR, also known as .22 Magnum. This lightweight polymer frame pistol weighs only about 14 ounces when empty. On paper, the idea of packing 30 rounds into a single magazine for a rimfire semi-automatic sounds enticing, especially for plinking or small varmint control. However, this high capacity is precisely where the debate over unnecessary features begins. The PMR-30 features a single action trigger with a reasonably crisp break and a typical barrel length of around 4.3 inches. It comes equipped with fiber optic sights and an ambidextrous safety lever, making it somewhat user-friendly. However, its reliability can be inconsistent, especially if you're not using high-quality ammunition or if you don't carefully follow proper magazine loading techniques. The slide and frame are primarily polymer, which makes the gun extremely lightweight, but also raises concerns about long-term durability. While the PMR-30 is technically concealable, its overall length and height may make it challenging to carry discreetly. Ergonomically, the pistol feels comfortable, with an elongated grip designed to accommodate the double-stacked .22 Magnum rounds. The high capacity is fun at the range, but some owners report frequent jamming issues when loading the magazine to its full 30-round capacity. Where do people spend extra money? Many opt for aftermarket triggers, fancy coatings, or extended controls, none of which necessarily address the platform's fundamental quirks. While the PMR-30 is an interesting firearm with unique appeal, its performance and reliability concerns make it a questionable investment beyond its novelty factor. Walther PPK. The Walther PPK is an iconic pistol, best known as James Bond's sidearm. Chambered in .380 ACP, 9mm Kurz, or older variants in .32 ACP, it typically holds a 6+1 or 7+1 capacity, depending on the magazine extension. Weighing around 20 ounces, it is relatively easy to carry and measures just over 6 inches in total length. The pistol features a double-action/single action trigger system, standard for its era, and a slide-mounted safety decocker. Despite its legendary reputation, many of the so-called useless features come from people paying a premium for the Bond association rather than practical performance. Modern concealed carry pistols often offer higher capacity, lighter triggers, and more ergonomic grips, all at the same or even lower price. While the PPK's fixed barrel contributes to decent accuracy, the design itself has remained largely unchanged for decades. Its low-profile sights maintain its classic aesthetic, but are not ideal for quick target acquisition. The PPK's steel frame adds weight compared to newer polymer designs, making it heavier than many modern subcompact 9mm handguns that offer greater capacity. The pistol's safety features include a decocking lever that also funked. Irons as a safety, though it can be stiff to engage on some models. Ergonomically, the extended beaver tail helps prevent slide bite, but the grip area remains relatively small. Many buyers continue to pay extra for limited editions, special finishes, and the cinematic appeal of the PPK. If you appreciate classic styling and are willing to pay for a piece of movie history, it's a fine choice. Just don't expect it to outperform more modern carry pistols in the same price range. 1911. The 1911 platform is legendary. Designed over a century ago, it set the standard for .45 ACP handguns, typically featuring a single-stack magazine with a capacity of 7+1 or sometimes 8+1 rounds. Weighing approximately 39 ounces in a full-size steel frame, the 1911 is revered for its smooth single-action trigger and timeless design. However, the world of custom 1911 upgrades is where unnecessary features can drastically increase costs. High-end custom shops offer everything from hand-fitted barrels to ornate engravings, exotic wood or ivory grips, and premium coatings that border on artistic. While some upgrades, such as match-grade barrels or improved triggers, genuinely enhance performance, many modifications are purely cosmetic. People often pay thousands of dollars for visually stunning finishes that may never see the inside of a holster. There are also elaborate slide serrations, skeletonized hammers, and extended beaver tail grip safeties that go far beyond necessity. The 1911 safety features include the classic frame-mounted thumb safety and the grip safety, both integral to the original design. While its weight helps with recoil management, it can also make daily carry less practical. Barrel lengths vary, with commander models at about 4.25 inches, government models at 5 inches, and officer models around 3.5 inches, but all maintain the quintessential 1911 feel. Despite the availability of modern alternatives with higher capacities and lighter frames, the 1911 remains popular due to nostalgia and an extensive aftermarket. Ergonomically, many shooters appreciate the 1911's slim grip, and shorter variants can be concealed with the right setup. However, at the end of the day, while the 1911 holds a special place in American firearm culture, over-the-top embellishments often result in a hefty price tag without offering significant functional benefits. Each of these 6 firearms has its own appeal, but let's be honest, some of their so-called premium features are more about showing off than actual performance. Are you really getting a better gun or just a fancier price tag? Sure, if money is no object and you love collecting statement pieces, go for it. But if you're looking for real-world practicality, you might want to think twice before falling for the hype. What do you think? Are these guns overpriced gimmicks, or do they deserve their status? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more no-nonsense breakdowns of what's worth your money and what's not, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.